Sikhale somntana siho Yesu lamntana enukhalela I deliberately sang the song you were singing when we were coming in. Yes. And I hope you fully appreciate. Because when we say things are going to change, we are saying things are going to change for all of us the way we do things. When the governing party went to the elections, its tagline, or rather theme of the campaign, was "Let's grow South Africa together." That tagline has not changed. And I think it's important for all of us to appreciate the meaning of what the ANC as the governing party is saying to all of us. It's saying this country will never be able to go forward until each one of us as South Africans, whether you vote ANC or you don't, but you are bound by the common heritage. If we succeed, we will all succeed. If we fail, we will all fail. One of the important responsibility of the public service, though we may have political allegiances, but we are the servants of the people. We serve the government of the time. And I think it's important for all of us to appreciate that. I may have voted EFF, I might have voted DA. Yes, that's your democratic right, because that's what this democracy we fought for allows us to do. But once we get in as the civil service of the country, we are bound by the prescripts of the party in the government at the time. So all of us here, when we say zizochigizinto, things will change, we are saying in this 5-year term, our responsibility as the foot soldiers of this government is to make sure that we grow South Africa together. What it also means is that the culture of doing things will have to change. You can't grow South Africa together when you don't put citizens first. We must be a responsive civil society and civil service. You know, I said when I met with the acting DGs and their team and the CEOs, we cannot have a submission that starts from wherever it starts in January and it arrives at the minister's desk in May. What happens in the life of those that we must serve?
Yes, yes.
You know, in the few days I've been here, the three of us, because as public servants, as public representatives, our phone numbers are public. I don't know how many WhatsApps and emails and SMSs I've received, concerns raised by citizens. This is what I asked for. I've not received an acknowledgement. This is what I asked in June last year. I still don't have a response. It can't be our department that has a responsibility of growing South Africa together. So when we sing this song, it's not somebody else must change. All of us, we must start to do things differently. Work ethic, Bantagwethu, it's something we, all of us, must change. I'm not saying I've seen anything so far wrong, but if we start at 7:30, and end at 4. We can't arrive at 8 and start leaving at 3. And this was sorting morning. But I'm just saying, we cannot do that. We must have a conscience. You know, unembeza. We must earn a salary knowing that we've worked for it. I must feel proud when I go out of this office and say, I've done my bit. Without saying, did my supervisor see me? So this jigizinto change of things has to start with us. But when we say we grow South Africa together, one of the challenges that we face is to make sure that this sector of our economy makes its contribution as it has done in the past. Because I think we shouldn't say we've not done it. Even in this quarter, agriculture has grown, even though not massively. But I think we need to do more, and we can, because you have got the expertise to do so. The three of us will give you the leadership that we need, will give you the political guidance that you need, but you as professionals, you must do what you were trained for. Not to try and appease the three of us. You know the story of Yes Minister. Musanu Bango Yes Minister. You must be able to explain and say, Minister, there is this challenge. This is how we can do this. Within the prescripts, don't bend the rules. We need to become an ethical civil service. We need to appeal to those who have not joined the civil service, particularly the young people, to feel that this is a profession I can join. We cannot be found wanting from an ethical point of view. And our hands can't be found in the cookie jar. Sometimes hands are not found in the cookie jar because you have taken a cent. Hands can be found in the cookie jar by actually doing a favor on things that you know you are not supposed to do. And giving an advantage wrongly when you know you are not supposed to do. And give land to somebody you know that doesn't qualify. And giving a job to my friend because he or she is my friend but don't qualify. Let's not be found wanting. You know, we need to build an ethical society, and it starts with us. It starts with all of us. One of the things in the workplace, there will always be challenges. But let's try and find ways in which we resolve those challenges. At 12:30, I'll be meeting with Labour, PSA and NIHAO. We need to build a functional bargaining chamber so that when there are issues, we can resolve them speedily. As workers, we're part of this society. And it is in our interest to make sure that we grow this South Africa together in order to ensure that we can continue to have a decent wage. Sinobabus Tumogela, who come from the working movement. But asizum abuser because situvela kukosa to bese city babus tumo. We know what is our responsibility. Ours will be to guide, Ours will be to engage, but within the limits. So I'm saying there may be an opportunity, or there may have been times where we have, step on each other's toes. You see, I think it's paid. They say marumofas. Bandagwetu. There are times when impi comes to an end. Sigeza namaduma city asiqhubekile. So that is why I'm saying, when there are issues of labor issues, labor relations, let's resolve those speedily and not drag them, because it affects the productivity of workers in an employment. You heard I said these three people in front of you, the deputy ministers and myself, are Ministry of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development. There is a reorganization of the state which will require a merging of some of the departments, and we are one of those. There will be a process following the Lehuta which will be explained thoroughly by the President and the Public Service Commission and the Public Service Administration on how those are going to happen. I just want to appeal to you, it mustn't cause panic. Reorganization always happens. And we mustn't be threatened by that. We'll just have to find a way in which we manage it and look at what are the skill sets that we have and where will they be properly deployed. We commit that we will support our senior management when that reorganization is happening, so that it happens as smoothly as it can. So angifuni libese niyathuka nithi hey kuzoba le reorganization manje asisasebenza silinde until iziphele, we have to continue. But we are also going to draw on some of the skills from outside, maybe on an advisory capacity. One thing that I've noted in your structure, there is a lot of Hollywood, of acting. So we will have to look within this reorganization, how do we manage that Hollywood, so that there could be some certainty about where people are. You have got three people who are very energetic. You've got the cell phones, some of you, particularly senior management, that are paid for by government. I value phone government. If I call you at 12 midnight, you are not going to say Ifoniami value. Yep. Because there's a reason why you at a senior management, you have that phone. When there's an outbreak of disease, as it is at the moment across our borders, you are not going to say, I Minister Bensalel. If we say we have a meeting at 7 a.m., particularly senior management, we are not going to say work to rule. 8. The higher you go, the colder it becomes, because it goes with responsibility. So some of those things we will have to do. It is in the interest of ensuring that it works. But we know that as government alone, we cannot succeed unless we work with the stakeholders, the private sector and the farmers. So we'll have to find a way in which we make those partnerships work for the interest of the country. We also have to work with the academy, because it does not help for the universities to produce the skill sets that are not required by the industry. Doesn't help. So we'll have to find a way in which we work with the academy so that the skill sets that come out are the ones that are required by the economy so that it helps us. People in international relations and marketing. Last year, the AU agreed on the Africa Trade Protocol. Countries were asked to ratify. South Africa has ratified with a number of them. By July, the implementation starts. And that has got serious consequences, not only for the team in trade, but also for the team in plant health and animal health. Because our phytosanitary system must be in order. Working with the customs must happen to ensure that the things that come through our borders are legit and we can account for them. Because our citizens' health come first. But we will also have to navigate with our industry, because some of the products are going to be sensitive, where African countries, some of them have an advantage in terms of the climate and the ecological system. They may actually have more goods that they bring to our market, which may create a little bit of sensitivities. So your team of trade will have to work with our industry so that as we look at how we open up on certain sectors, we do not wipe our industry unprepared. But what it means for the team in trade and marketing, we need to work with our industry to start to say, what are those goods that we can take to the African market and position all of our farmers to be ready for that. Congrats to international relations and trade. I saw yesterday our vessel landed in China with some of the goods. Sadly, let me not say sadly, we are happy that one of our own who used to be here, Mono Mashaba, led in that regard. He even he speaks Mandarin even today. But he worked at a very good relations that started to allow us to export to the China, which is to China, which is a very big market for us. We might have, for now, to relook at our agricultural attache's placement, given that we don't have resources. So we might not post for now. I know some of you might have applied, but we are going to hold a bit to look at what we have and see how best we can also utilize our embassies to assist us while we are looking at our resources. I'm raising this because the acting DG did brief me that there were some adverts that went out, but I've just said to him, given the financial resources, we may not be able to continue as of now. September is a planting season in some of our regions. And I think we need to see the tractors working and farmers planting. So working with land reform and rural development, we'll need to see how does that happen, if only to build the food security capability of our citizens, but also to give confidence that indeed we know our story as this cohort of cadres. Bantagwetu, seated here, I know your commitment. I don't doubt it. You will prove me wrong. We're coming here trusting you that you will do it. I don't think we are already doubting and thinking, ingadbaza usfeyila ababantu. We're coming here hoping that you will make us proud. We will strengthen where we need to strengthen. But for now, I think we do have foot soldiers that can work. It's a long way of saying Sanbonani, ne? But I thought it was necessary. just to give a heads up, we will have to deal with certain governance issues. We will have to deal with certain protocols of how we do things. But those will be in the course of doing work. We will be meeting you in different directorates, but for today we just thought it was necessary to see your faces and say, hello, we're here, and not be surprised when you see us in passages or seeing us starting to talk to the media. Nani nifani nabantwana beku, who's this? I think a minister or a deputy minister. But I'm to sebenza na, you know, we're trying to avoid that. But all in all, we want to say, happy Tuesday. Niaspona mostina wa happy people. That's what we would love to see happening. Seeing as what has happened. We need happy, jolly people. Even if there are challenges, ngesizulu kuthiwa ayisihamba nayo imkhuhlane noma uphethe esihamba nayo. Sifuna ukuthi sihambe nayo noma zikhona inkinga. Sihambe nako nje. Sibe nale walk. Siyabona le walk ka president. Funeka siyishaye la emaphaseji. Isivumele nje ukuthi nayi le walk. Amandla. Thank you very much, Joe.